outside, which is the idea. Yep. It's pretty much
There
a
it goes.
raw tomato
Okay.
without the skin. It's not adding all
I
that.
forgot Kuma was muted again, so I was just like, I see the mouth moving, nothing's happening.
Without the skin, it's a really easy way to get there. Tomato sushi. Now we're gonna put a blanched tomato to good use. We're gonna cut our tomato into pieces, remove the tough core, and then carefully cut out the inner membrane with the seeds and juices. Get those into a bowl and add some soy sauce, sesame oil, and let that marinate for about 15 minutes. Okay, the pieces are very delicate now that they've been marinating. We've got some warm sushi rice that I'm gonna form into a little nugget, and then carefully lay a piece of this tuna-looking tomato on top and compress it slightly. I'm no Jiro. So I guess this is sushi insofar as it's on top of rice and kind of looks like fish. The rice is still warm and the tomato is cool, so there's some interesting contrast going on. It smells great. I mean, this is tasty. The flavor profile is great. The soy sauce really backs up the fruit's natural umami, but sushi it is not. Tomato tartare. We've got another blanched and peeled tomato, and we're gonna quarter it, cut the core out, and then remove the seedy parts and membrane, which will water things down, and then dice it up nice. We're gonna toss it with a bit of salt and olive oil, put this fancy ring mold on a plate, and pack this mixture in there to give it some shape, pull up the mold, and tomato tartare. This is more of a visual gimmick than anything else. Diced tomato made to look like beef or tuna tartare. The whole thing kind of falls apart. It doesn't adhere the way that a protein-based tartare would. I mean, it tastes good with the salt and the olive oil, but this is basically just a bruschetta topping. Where's the bread? Raw tomato sauce. So this is the simplest possible raw tomato sauce. We're gonna grate it into a bowl, which is cool because the skin just kind of stays behind in my hand. A little bit of oil, a pinch of salt, stir that together, and we're done. Very rustico. The texture is loose and pulpy and uneven, and while we don't have any skin in there, we've still got some seeds. That's really yummy. Just pure, clean tomato flavor with an appealingly rough texture. I don't think I want this with pasta necessarily, but it would be great with a bit of garlic and parsley as a sauce for fish or something like that. Tomato passata sauce. This is probably the simplest Italianate tomato sauce there is. Some wouldn't even call it a sauce. We're gonna cook these for just a few minutes until they're broken down and kind of soupy. And now we're gonna transfer our just cooked tomatoes to a food mill, which is gonna break down the tomatoes and keep any pieces of skin and seeds out of the finished product. And we're done. So there's no seeds, no skin in there, just totally smooth and homogeneous. It's definitely a little bit loose since it didn't cook down long enough to get any water out. Definitely sweeter than our raw sauce because the seeds tend to lend a bit of bitterness. It's not bad, but this would make a better base for another sauce than a sauce. Passata sauce. This is probably the simplest Italianate tomato sauce there is. Some wouldn't even call it a sauce. We're gonna cook these for...
He dropped one of this salt, not like this.
Just a few minutes until they're broken down and kind of soupy.
Not the
Now we're
salt.
gonna transfer our just cooked tomatoes to a food mill, which is gonna break down the tomatoes and keep any pieces of skin and seeds out of the finished product. And we're done. So there's no seeds, no skin in there, just totally smooth and homogeneous. It's definitely a little bit loose since it didn't cook down long enough to get any water out. Definitely sweeter than our raw sauce because the seeds tend to lend a bit of bitterness. It's not bad, but this would make a better base for another sauce than a sauce on its own. Cooked tomato sauce. Similar but different. We've got our passata, but now we're going to get it back into the saucepan and let it cook down for the next 45 minutes or so to try to concentrate its flavor. Definitely looks concentrated. Get this into a bowl and we've got some tasty looking tomato sauce. Obviously, this doesn't have any of the aromatics that you would typically associate with a proper tomato sauce. It's darker and noticeably thicker, not nearly as watery. Wow, that tastes so different. Darker, deeper, way more concentrated and savory. This is definitely what I want as the base for my spaghetti sauce. Tomato paste. Let's take it one step further, shall we? We have our 45-minute cooked tomato sauce, and we're gonna put it on this sheet pan and let it cook down in the oven for another 4 hours. Whoa, that looks like tomato paste, all right. This is noticeably darker and thicker than your store-bought tomato paste would be. It's almost gelatinous, and it's darkened a lot around the edges. Oh my gosh, this is actually so delicious. You know, store-bought tomato paste often has kind of a tinny, metallic kind of raw flavor, but this tastes incredible. Huge umami flavor. Tomato leather. We've got our cooked down sauce. We're gonna spread it out evenly on this parchment. Then we're gonna get the rack in there and let it go at 135 degrees for about 10 hours. Whoa! This looks wild, like an ancient scroll made from dinosaur flesh or something. It's tough and leathery. It definitely feels like a dried out fruit roll-up. Wow. Flavor is so concentrated that it actually really does taste fruity. Sweet, acidic. I bet you could convince somebody that this was raspberry or something like that. Definitely cool. Tomato powder. Let's take our dehydrator situation one step further. We're gonna slice our tomatoes, put them on this dehydrator rack, and let it go at 140 degrees for about 12 hours. Okay, these are good and dry by now. We've got our spice grinder, and we're gonna break our dried tomato slices into pieces and buzz them up. Voila, tomato powder. This has such a gorgeous, dark, ruddy, rusty sort of color, and it just kind of sticks to your hands like Dorito dust. Whoa, wild. It's really sweet, really fruity, ton of acid up front. This would be great as part of a dry rub or a popcorn seasoning or something like that. It's a beautiful day. Let's take this party outside.
Hates air fryers.
Smoked tomato.
But makes
We got
tomato
a tomato
powder. Yeah.
We got a smoker. We're gonna open this up, get our tomato in there, close it.
Hi, smoker.
All right, let's get our smoky boy out of there. Looks good. This is kind of freaky looking. The skin is starting to peel off, and the whole thing does feel pretty soft. I mean, it was in there at a low temperature for a really long period of time. Inside's totally cooked, still pretty juicy. Fair amount of smoke flavor on that outside, which is really nice with the tomato's natural savoriness. Torched tomato. We got our tomatoes. We got our Searzall, which is just a modified blowtorch. We're gonna do our thing. All right? Okay. Well, yeah, that looks done, I guess. We got a lot of color on those cut sides, but yeah, it's pretty much totally raw inside. Yeah, not particularly special. The browning doesn't have the same appealing smoky
barely
quality
did it
that
for
our
that
charred
long.
tomatoes did.
Oh no, you
Pass
could
on
have
this one.
tried a little harder.
Laser tomato. This
sorry.
right here is the most powerful laser that we were able to find on the internet. All right, let's let her rip.
The most powerful laser that we could find on the internet.
Something's happening all right. Maybe let's try
Why?
a different spot.
What?
See what we can do here. All right, I'm tired of holding this thing. Let's call it. Hello, world.
Why?
So, yeah, we got a smiley little laser
was-
tomato here. Got
What was
one
the point of
eye
this?
here, and then other eye is slightly smaller here, and then this sick grin here. I'm gonna call him Thomas. Thomas is not really cooked. But look at that face. No. Yeah, it's a raw tomato. Not sure what else to say. It's still really juicy. Sorry,
I
little
don't know
guy.
what you were expecting.
I'm not sure all this fresh air is good for me. Let's go back to the kitchen. Juiced tomato. We got our tomatoes. We got our juicer. We're going to turn this bad boy on and let her rip.
Yeah.
All right, then. This is
Oh.
cool. You've got this kind of foamy part. And
Why
the
did you
bottom seems to
overflow?
be a lot thinner
What
and
the
more
fuck?
watery.
Why would you overflow
It's
that
pretty
shit?
tasty.
What the fuck,
It's
man?
much smoother and lighter in body than a pureed tomato. Tomato water. Now we're gonna make a kind of fancied up tomato juice. We're gonna quarter our tomatoes, get them into this blender with a pinch of salt, buzz them up, and then pour the puree into a fine mesh strainer lined with cheesecloth. We're gonna pop this in the fridge and let it sit overnight. All right, now that our solids have separated from our liquid, we're gonna pour this out, and that's our tomato water. It's got a beautiful pinky orange color, and it's almost completely transparent. There are a few flecks of tomato solids in there that got past the cheesecloth. Yum. The tomato flavor here is mild but really sweet, and the texture is really fascinating. Tomato soda. If we can make tomato water, why not tomato soda? We've got our tomato water. We're gonna plug it into this carbonator and push this button a few times to make it fizz up. Am I doing this?
Why?
Oops.
Why'd you do? What the fuck,
tomato
man?
Soda? The operating instructions
Too
say not to
much.
put anything other than water in the machine, so maybe that had something to do with it overflowing. It's nice and clear looking, but not super fizzy. It's light, it's fruity, it's more mineral water fizzy than seltzer fizzy. It's interesting, but a pretty disorienting.
I feel like he overdid it. I don't think it was a mistake on the fact that it was tomato water.
Soda.
I feel like
We
he
can make
just
tomato
overdid
water.
it.
Why not tomato?
Halfway. Oh, wait. So he did overfill it. What the fuck, man?
We've got our tomato water. We're gonna plug it into this carbonator and push this button a few times to make it fizz up. Am I doing this right? Ooh.
You even asked if you're doing this right.
Tomato soda? The operating instructions say not to put anything other than water in the machine.
Yeah,
so
like you even
maybe that
asked
had
if you're
something to
doing
do with
this
it
right, and you
overflowing.
pushed the
It's
button like
nice and
multiple
clear
times,
looking,
and
not
then
super
I think
fizzy.
what, possibly a little cut,
It's light.
and
it's
then
free,
this is just
it's more
that.
mineral water fizzy than
Makes it
seltzer
seem like he
fizzy.
potentially just did it too
Interesting,
much,
but a
and then
bit
just
disorienting
slightly cut
to
it out.
drink. You know, now that we're good and hydrated, let's get a little sunshine. Campfire
don't know.
tomatoes.
Hmm.
Ah, the great outdoors. We're gonna take these 3 tomatoes and put them right in here on the coals to char, and then we're gonna nestle this foil wrapped one right in here, and we're just gonna take these off as they're ready. Foil wrapped tomato. Ooh, steamy. Didn't get much color, but it's definitely really soft. Nothing too exciting. I mean, it's cooked through, but there wasn't anywhere for the liquid to go, so it just kind of steamed in there. Not sure why I would cook a tomato this way, but it does work, I guess.
Yeah.
Charred tomato. So the skin is burnt and
Because
just kind of
he pressed
peeling
it,
away, and
he
it's
left it, like
definitely
pushed it
fully
down,
cooked.
let up, and then pushed it down.
No, that's actually really delicious. I was
And then
worried
the-
the skin
there's, like,
was too bitter, but
what
there's
looks
a
like
lot
a
of
cut,
nice smoke flavor, a lot of complexity.
and then it's just overflowing.
You know, I want to take this one step further. Let's go back to the fire. Campfire tomato sauce. Okay, we're gonna put a pot right on the
what?
fire here, and then squeeze a couple of our charred tomatoes in there. We're gonna add a little oil and salt, and let that cook down a bit to create a sauce. Should be good. Let's give this a try. We've got some little bits of that charred skin that didn't break down. Maybe not ideal. It's nice and chunky though, really thick. The flavor is really delicious. We cooked off some of that water, and it's really concentrated with tons of umami. Throw some pasta in there, and you'd have a pretty incredible alfresco dinner. Tomato on a stick. Well, if we're gonna cook over this fire anymore, we're gonna need some more wood, so I may as well just use this easel, because let's face it, I'm never gonna be a real artist. I'm never gonna do anything, make a name for myself. Just like my mother always said. Who likes painting anyways? People just love the YouTube, you know? They're just gonna go online and watch these
Someone's got
videos.
mommy
No
issues.
one's ever gonna want to see my paintings or anything that I've ever done. This roaring fire brought to you by my deflated sense of self. So we've got a tomato on a stick.
Also,
We're gonna
yeah, that is
spit
a
roast it over
horrible
this
waste of
fire
a
of
perfectly good
broken
easel.
dreams. And we're gonna see if it amounts to anything. Pretty sure there's some chemicals in that wood that are probably poisonous. It's on fire. And there she goes. We all saw that coming, didn't we? No surprises here. Let's see if I can salvage even a shred of my dignity. Sense of self-worth.
You had dignity?
Oh, okay. Great. This, like many things in life, is a
Cheese and
real
crackers.
disappointment. It's ugly and messy and dark. I guess I'm gonna have to eat it.
Yeah, really. No, you shouldn't use treated wood.
No.
Tastes like ashes, both literally and figuratively. Bitterness, despair. You know, I think it's time we went back inside.
You
Tomato ice
really
pop.
have mommy
All
issues.
right,
Holy
let's
shit.
Lighten things up a little bit, shall we? So we're gonna put our tomatoes into this
Cheese and
blender,
crackers.
a bit of sugar, which will keep the pops from getting too icy, and buzz it all up. Now I'm gonna put these into the freezer for the night. And now that they're fully frozen, we're gonna get this into some warm water so it releases. And there's our tomato ice pop. It's interesting, it looks like the tomato water and the solids kind of separated a bit. It certainly smells like tomato.
Tomato ice.
You know, it's
just
not as
tomato.
sweet as you would expect, and it's a bit icy. I should have added more sugar. It's
Oh,
intriguing.
the
but it would
ice-
be better
the
if it was,
ice
like
pop.
Bloody Mary
It's
flavored or something
icy.
like that. On its own, it's a little bit of a
Who
letdown.
would have fucking guessed?
Tomato granita. All right, let's blend our prep tomatoes along with a bit of sugar and salt, then strain it and pour it into this loaf pan. We're gonna put this into the freezer for about an hour. Now that it's mostly frozen, we're gonna use a fork to rough it up a bit and then get it back into the freezer for another couple of hours. Okay, now it's totally frozen. We're gonna rough it up even more and get that granita into a bowl. Beautiful. This looks really pretty. The texture is kind of like a shaved ice. The mouthfeel is really cool. It's icy and refreshing, and it kind of just dissolves on your tongue. It really plays up the sweetness of that tomato. I don't know how much of this I'd want to eat, but it would make a great palate cleanser in the middle of a long summer meal. Tomato ice cream. We've got an ice cream maker. We've got a creme anglaise, which is just a simple French custard made with cream, sugar, a little salt, and some egg yolks. We're gonna pour that into the machine, and we're gonna come back when it's almost frozen. Okay, now that the ice cream is almost there, we're gonna pour some tomato passata in and let it finish freezing.
I actually have heard of tomato ice cream. I've seen people use it for like savory dishes and stuff like that before. I don't really care for it.
Yeah.
But like I have heard of it. Like I've seen it paired with things where it would like by itself absolutely not, but I've seen a couple like extreme appetizer things and like that weren't horrible.
Way better with tomato paste,
but I would not just eat it. Like that's just ketchup ice cream.
But I think I'd rather have the granita at the end of the day. Baked tomato. We've got a halved tomato, and we're gonna pop this into a 300-degree oven.
We're
for
only
about an
just
hour.
now getting to baked potato, not fuck tomato.
We got
Fuck.
baked tomato.
I thought this would have been at
because
the
it's at such a
fucking
low
beginning
temperature,
of the
it didn't get
video.
a ton of color, but it has shrunken a bit. It's not super cooked inside. It's still a little firm. The flavor is definitely concentrated somewhat, but I think it could have gone for a few more hours, and for sure want some salt and fat. Not that much going on here, but this method has potential. Roasted tomato. Now we have a halved tomato with a bit of salt and oil, and we're gonna put it into a 400-degree oven for about 45 minutes. And
Wait,
out he
isn't this
comes.
just baking again?
This definitely cooked down pretty significantly. It's changed color a lot, and there's good charring, even though it's still pretty juicy. That's really nice. The flavor is much denser, and that char has plenty of complexity that balances the sweetness and acidity. This is a great oven method. Broiled tomato. One more time for good measure. Halved, salted, oiled, and we're gonna pop it under the broiler. Ooh, smoky. Ow, all right. Broiled tomatoes. The heat was really intense and direct, and the oil produced a lot of smoke. You can kind of see that the skin is sloughing off here, but it still feels very firm. Inside is mostly raw. Yeah, there's a bit of an.
You know, that's that blanching method is actually just a really quick way to peel tomatoes.
This would probably be better.
Yeah.
That's what we usually use it for.
Didn't work great here. Confit tomato. For my last oven trick, we've got some tomatoes we've halved and submerged in olive oil, and we're gonna put them in a
confit.
300-degree oven for about 45 minutes.
Oh, Retro already just
Voila,
like.
confit tomatoes.
Say that again, Caitlin.
Definitely firmer than I thought.
It sounded like you already didn't like it.
This would probably
No,
taste
I don't.
better with a smaller tomato. They're really glossy with that olive oil. It's
Blech.
pretty.
I don't know why. This is considered like a rich people cooking method.
Really rich, and that texture
And it's
is
like,
so
blech.
silky.
Look at it.
It's a
It
winner
looks
for sure.
fucking disgusting.
You know,
It looks
I think I'm finally
stupid.
ready to go
Mhm.
outside again. Grilled
I guess
tomatoes.
that fair.
got
You're rich.
tomatoes.
You
We got a
like
hot
stupid
grill.
things. I
We're gonna
don't
put a
know.
whole
They
tomato
like to
over
eat the
here.
garbage parts of the
Next,
food, the
tomato
foie
that
gras,
we've
the
halved,
goose
salted,
liver, the
oiled,
caviar.
peeled.
It's.
And
I
then
think it's
some
personally, I think it's a
tomato
little
shredded
strange.
onto skewers
It
here.
is strange.
I'm not saying it's
We're gonna
bad.
put these off
I'm
the
saying
grill.
it's strange to have that as a classist aspect.
So the
Eating the
skin
garbage
is
parts
split a
of
little
an
bit.
animal.
We have some grill marks,
Yeah.
but it still feels really firm. I think it's too thick.
Did
to
you
cook
know
properly.
lobster was originally you
Yeah,
probably
I
know
mean,
this
it's
Retro,
worn
but it was
throughout, but it's not
originally
really
the
cooked
poor
through.
man's food.
Yeah, not a lot going on here. This is basically just
That's
a
a
warmed
fun
up
fact
tomato.
for you.
Grilled
It wasn't
halved
always
tomato.
expensive.
This definitely looks more cooked, and we've got some appealing
Used to be a
char in
case
here,
where a lot of
but it also stuck a bit. So I
poor
think the most
people would
flavorful
actually
bits may have gotten
end
left
up eating
behind.
lobster, and rich folk would be like, ew.
Okay.
I
A
turned
little bit
menu.
of that caramelized flavor we like, sweetness, complexity, all that, but just not
Yeah,
that
lobster
much
is
of it.
also
It's
fed
not
to prisoners.
bad, but not that distinctive either. Skewered tomatoes. These
And
pieces
then
feel pretty
rich people were like,
universally soft.
actually, this
They've
is
got
kind of
some
cool.
color around the edges, but we also lost
fuck you,
a few
it's
pieces on
expensive
the
now.
grill because the chunks got so soft. You know, this actually tastes better than the other two. We increased the surface area, which made them cook
Let's
more
see.
fully and quickly. It's a little bit clumsy.
Tomato
but
kebabs.
Not bad at all. Let's go back to the kitchen. Gazpacho. There are a lot of different ways to make gazpacho, but my favorite is one that's thin,
Yeah,
drinkable,
yeah,
and emulsified
it's
with a lot of
ironic.
olive oil. Pinch of salt, add some sherry vinegar for acid, and once it's going, we're gonna stream in that olive oil and process it until it's smooth and matte looking. Beautiful. The way that the olive oil emulsified in there changed the color a lot. It's almost orangey. Yum, I love this. It's got nice body from the oil, it's acidic, it's very refreshing. Blender cooked tomato. Now, we're gonna use the heat of this high-powered blender's motor to cook our tomatoes. These are
I'm sorry.
blanched and peeled. We're gonna prep them. get them into our blender.
People look like lobster because it's yummy and they don't want to share.
Ooh, steamy blender cooked tomatoes. This is pretty
Blender
hot after
cooked.
being in the blender
Like
for that long.
you
The motor
cooked it
generates so
using
much
the
heat.
blender.
It's definitely
I feel like a
Or
lot
is
of
it
people
more
don't realize that
cooked?
chilled soup is a thing.
I mean,
Yeah.
it tastes like
Chilled soup is actually it's a very big thing. There's actually dessert soups that are made out of like it's like a smoothie, but it has to be it requires cooking first and then it's chilled afterward. So like it's like a smoothie and then they cook it and then they chill it and it's actually quite delightful. You put like whipped cream on top.
Okay, let's put it in for another round.
Yeah.
And microwave tomato.
Hey,
It burst a little bit.
Why?
And some of the liquid leached out here.
why?
I mean, it seems pretty unevenly cooked. Some really soft parts and some still quite firm.
Why?
I mean, it's just a hot tomato. Not sure why I would do this, but I'm not offended by it. Iron tomato.
I am.
We've cut our tomato in half. We're just gonna spray our iron.
Oh no. Mm-mm.
Sitting in my hotel room, needing to cook a tomato with whatever I've got. Well,
No.
I guess this is
No.
done. Definitely
No.
got some unevenness
No.
in terms of the coloration, but we did get some
No.
browning right around here.
Fuck off,
Yeah, it's
Iron
still
Man.
pretty raw. I mean, I'm liking the
No.
flavor that the brownie offered, but this is just a mostly uncooked tomato. Sous vide tomato.
No
You just let your ice cream melt. I do that too. That's not usually what it is, but that's fair.
And this immersion circulator is going to cook it at a consistent.
Ooh, maybe
100
Honestly, I
degrees
feel
for
like
about 45 minutes.
like chilled dessert soups and stuff like that
Fascinating.
are
So the tomato seems
one,
totally cooked
underrated,
throughout,
but
also
two,
really
so
firm.
hard
The
to
flesh was
find.
kind of compressed and is a lot
Yeah.
denser. A
I
lot
had
of
to
the
make
liquid
them
just kind of
for
oozes out here.
the fine dining class that I had to
This is
take
really
in
cool.
culinary
The
school.
flesh is really
Um,
meaty,
And like they're
flavor is
delightful.
denser and it's concentrated.
I would rather have them than ice cream.
This
I'm
is
not
a
gonna
lot.
lie.
So
I don't really care for
let's
ice
see how
cream
it
all that
tastes if we
much.
added a marinade or spice mix or something like that to it. Slow cooker tomato. We're gonna get this lid off. put
Chicken
our
salad with
tomato
hard-boiled
right
eggs.
in here, and then
Ooh.
add about a cup of water just to get it going.
Oh, that's a
Turn this
dote on
bad
life
boy
for
on.
when
And we're gonna
Kuma
let
can
it go
speak.
for about 4 hours. Yep, that's cooked all right. The whole thing feels really soft and it definitely darkens somewhat. It's still very juicy. I mean, it's very tender, but it just kind of tastes cooked.
That's that
It
funny
would make
number.
way more sense to use a
Funny
slow cooker
number.
to cook down a pasta.
And you try to retaliate, you gotta try a little harder there, champ.
Also, hi,
You're not really
guys.
trying if you're ooh-wooing. I'm
I was eating
sorry.
a
Bottom
chip.
fingers don't count as retaliation.
Mm.
The chip is my snack.
Or something like that. But with a whole tomato, it's just kind of silly. Canned tomato. We've got 3 tomatoes that we've already blanched. We're gonna core these, get them into our jar, add a bit of salt and lemon juice, close it up, and get it into this pot of hot water so it'll seal. All right, it's been 45 minutes. These tomatoes are definitely
Back in the day when my grandma
Let's
could
get it
farm,
open.
like actually like take care of
Yeah,
like
we're really just
some
looking at
plants
whole
and
tomatoes
in the
floating
little
in their
garden
own
a little bit
falling
more.
apart somewhat. They're
Even
mostly
going back
intact.
further to when like my great grandparents were around
It's
still,
actually
and
way
they
more
had like an
flavorful
actual
than I'd
little
expect.
farm
Way
space.
better than grocery store canned tomatoes.
She used to
None of
actually
that
can a
hidden
lot of
can
stuff.
Flavor. I'd love to use this as a base for a pasta dish or a braise. Yum.
I honestly, I would like to do
Well,
that
you can
myself
brulee a
at some
grapefruit,
point in
why
the
not a tomato?
future. Have a
We're gonna
little,
sprinkle our
have a little
tomato
garden,
halves with some
can my own
sugar,
things.
Then use
yada
our
yada.
culinary torch to blast them.
That's good.
Oh,
That's gonna be part of the Hyperbite
Looks
homesteading
good
contest.
as
I'm gonna
it
show you
is.
guys how I can my
We know
sauces
it's a
and
pretty
shit.
handsome crust here, and it really smells like caramel. The tomato underneath is almost totally raw. Let's cut a little
You
piece.
just creme brulee the top of those.
Interesting.
Not creme brulee,
This is
but he
super
torched
sweet.
them. He
There's
torched
also
the top
strong,
like a creme
savory
brulee.
note from where the
Yeah.
tomato juices caramelized along with the sugar. It's not bad exactly, but definitely an unexpected flavor situation. Not sure if I like it or not. Tomato tatin. This dish is traditionally made with apples,
Yeah,
but
you
why not tomatoes?
caramelize the
Smear
top
butter
or
in
whatever.
this cast iron
Torched.
pan, pour
I
a
don't know.
layer of sugar over,
I don't know.
arrange
Words.
our prepped tomatoes. We're gonna turn the heat on and let the sugar and tomato juices cook down to a caramel.
Also, yeah,
Now, we
I
layer
mean,
some
technically,
defrosted
yeah,
puff pastry
canning
over top,
and like
tuck it
jarring,
in,
they're like
make a
they're
few
about the same
slits,
thing. It's
and
just
pop
in the
that
case of
into a
like
450-degree oven for about 24
Oh, is he
minutes.
making
yeah.
tomato pie?
Gorgeous.
think so.
All right. All we have to do is put this
actually,
on
yeah,
top,
the
Yeah.
process is
try
called
to
canning.
flip it
It is
out in
actually-
one fluid motion.
It is actually
Hey, not too
takes months.
shabby. This
for
kinda
the
smells
Yeah,
like-
because there's
Uh,
water canning and pressure canning.
Yeah.
This is really special and different. It definitely
Yeah,
plays up the
Quay's
sweeter
cat
side of tomatoes.
basically said it better
These
than I was
buttery,
starting to say
pasty,
it.
really round
It's
things out.
canning,
Super
but
cool.
it's in a jar.
Pickled
Most of the
tomato.
time.
Canning versus
Let's put our
preserving.
prepped tomato
Yeah.
slices into
There's
this
there's
jar.
preserving and
We're
there's
gonna add
actually
some salt
canning.
and sugar to this hot vinegar and water.
Yeah,
mix
kinda
and
like
stir it to
pickling.
Dissolve.
Yeah, kind of like pickling.
Pour that over. Close it up. Then we're gonna fridge this until it's cold and.
So like that's something like my grandma would do.
Pop
She
that
would have
lid
canned,
off.
but she also would have preserved.
Smells nice and vinegary.
Wow.
Yum. The sugar and the vinegar really back up the natural sweetness and acidity.
I wonder how long you actually left it in the fridge.
Really tomatoey. I could
I
eat
do
a whole
too.
plate of these, but they'd be great with.
Cause see,
cheese
some of
or
those
that
other
juicy
things where you're
chocolate
just like,
bun.
ah, I'm done.
Fermented tomato.
Makes me be like
Now
not
that we
confident
pickled
in
the
it.
tomato, we're
Or
gonna
should
cut
you
it
teach
in
me how to
half.
make pickles? It's not
Core it,
difficult.
Dice
He's
it.
pickling the
Mix it with some
tomato.
I think the
salt,
hardest part,
and
honestly, is
put it in
picking the right
bag and seal
cucumbers.
it. We're gonna let this sit for a few days. at
But you can
room
pickle more
temperature.
than just
Spread the
cucumbers. Like
microbes
pickled
and bacteria
cabbage
in there
is,
to get
well,
fat.
I mean, technically speaking, that's
Wow,
pretty much
okay.
just
So we
sauerkraut.
can
But
tell that these
Yeah.
like,
microbes
it depends. You
in
can
the
change
bag
like the
puffed up,
seasonings and
which
what you
tells
want
us
in
that
it.
The little guys in there have been converting sugar to acid and CO2.
I've been trying to sweet talk my Aunt Patty into giving me her pickle preserving recipe for years, and I still haven't managed it.
Crazy. It's really yeasty
I'm
and
trying my
funky,
best,
which
okay?
is
She
fine
won't give it
for
up.
that others might find gross. The tomato
Pickled
paste
red
is
cabbage.
broken down
I
so
actually
it's
had,
3
really
hours.
cooked.
Had pickled apple slaw not too long ago, and I was really surprised.
Wild.
Did another one?
Funky,
Yeah, probably.
Almost fizzy with a kind of sour, malty, beer-like flavor. Big umami energy. It almost tastes fruitier than it did before. This has a ton of potential.
Taking those to
I'd
the
love to see
grave.
what this would be like in a tomato sauce.
Apparently.
Tomato caviar. Science time. All right, we got some tomato juice here, and we're gonna whisk in some sodium alginate, which is gonna thicken it. We're gonna let this chill for a few hours. Now it's really thick and jiggly, almost like ketchup. We got some warm water here, and we're gonna mix
Ketchup.
this calcium chloride in until it dissolves. Then we take the syringe, slurp up some tomato business, and start adding a drop at a
yes.
time to the water bath.
Yes,
Kind of looking more like
tomato fish
tadpoles than
eggs.
beads of caviar, but I guess that's something. So
Oh yeah,
we
I've been
have
seeing
our
a lot of people
tomato,
doing this
quote,
recently. I'm not a
caviar
huge
on.
fan, but I think it's mostly just because I don't really like the
Looks like
texture of
caviar,
caviar to
beads are
begin with.
definitely
Yeah.
firm.
So like,
I
we're
feel like
making
it's
other
the
things
skin.
taste like caviar is like, why?
I feel like it's just so
Yeah,
much
I
more
mean,
work
it honestly
too.
just tastes like tomato juice, but has a kind of spongy
What's
texture.
the
This
point?
is more of a gimmicky molecular gastronomy thing. Than
Yeah,
anything
it's
else. I'll
a
pass on
gimmick.
this one,
It's a
thanks.
gimmick. It's a
Tomato
waste of
acid.
time.
It's
Little
completely
1950s
decorative.
dinner
Yeah.
party throwback for you.
If
We're
it's
gonna
like
bring
if
some
it's like
tomato juice up
if
to
you
the
if you want
simmer to
some
reduce it
decoration,
slightly.
fine. But like,
Meanwhile, we've got some cold
why?
water here, and we're gonna whisk this gelatin in until it's fully dissolved. Then we're gonna spray this bundt pan with Pam so our aspic doesn't stick.
Bundt.
Then stir our gelatin mixture into the hot tomato juice and pour that
no,
into our
wait,
bundt.
I just realized what
This
he
is
was
gonna need to
actually
sit
doing.
in the fridge for a while to set. Okay, so you can see that our aspic firmed up nicely. Now
Why?
comes the tricky part. We're gonna set it into this bowl of warm water so that it hopefully releases from the pan. Put a plate over top, and boom! Tomato aspic. Who's hungry? Jello. This
No.
looks nuts.
Why?
It's so bouncy and freaky looking. Can you believe that people used to actually serve this?
I
You know,
mean,
it
I
actually tastes
can,
pretty
but
good.
also
The
it's
texture is
still
weird as
weird
all
to
hell.
me.
But if I really leaned into it, I would love this with a plop of cottage cheese right there in the middle.
No.
This is
Solid no.
really a way to cook
Yeah.
pizza. All right.
It-
Today we prepared tomatoes
I
just
feel
about
like I'd
every
just
way
be
we can think of. What did we
basically
learn?
eating
Well, for one,
a gelatin
tomatoes
ketchup.
have a wide range of complex flavors.
Yeah,
This is
pretty
just what
much.
it
Looks like-
displayed to their
I
different
still
flavors.
think the
Without the
rabbit thing
sugar.
We
was
also learned
also
that tomatoes
fucking.
contain a lot of water.
Ugh.
And some of
Also,
our
yes,
favorite ways
without
of
the sugar.
cooking them
Oh
were
yeah,
all
all
about
is fucking
concentrating as
overflowing
much as
too.
possible.
Fuck that shit.
Have a method that you didn't see here today? Leave it in the comments.
Sugar. Oh boy. Had a push broom hit me in the hand. Why? Why? bleh. Chip. I ate chips. They were good.
I don't know if you know you're still muted, Kuma.
Yeah. Just in case.
You took the sticker off, but
Yeah. But here we'll go. New shot prank. Beat the first person you see with a broom. Ah.
I'm trying to figure out why my shit's broken. Because nobody can hear me. I'm also trying to get my fucking art program to connect and it won't, so hold please.
Ah, come on, Harry. Welcome in. Wait. You can hear Kuma? I can't hear Kuma.
I can't hear Kuma.
Yeah.
You might have to leave and come back to the Discord call.
Yeah.
If you are unmuted, that is.
Yeah.
Kuma is a phantom.
Oh. Wait, Kuma, you're supposed to be a gelatinous slime. That's the crazy fucking Quazes, the phantom, silly. I'll hear all of you.
Egg.
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 Voice mod shit itself.
Ah, gotcha.
And then didn't tell me. And my art thingy is shitting itself, so I have to restart the program and my iPad probably.
Oh no.
Thank you for the potato.
Potato.
It'd be like that sometimes.
I'm hoping I just have to restart the program itself and not my iPad, because that's ass.
Pain.
Did the material world jump scare you? No.
Here we'll go.
The only ones I have set loud enough to actually jump scare me are the ones you have to pay for. It's almost like I don't like being startled.
I'm excited about this one.
About what?
1 second.
Ooh, hi there.
Oh, I have to restart my iPad.
No! Boiled again!
It's not a big deal. It's just annoying. Soiled it. Soiled it. Soiled it.
Pain.
Oh, thank you for pinning that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm working on the next batch of adopts. I'm doing the line work. But I really like the one that's. I really like this sea dweller dude.
Eyeballs.
Are they like adopt commissions?
Yes.
Ooh.
So the commissioner gets first dibs, and then everybody also gets sold off.
If you can actually get to the point of selling them this time.
You know what? They still got sold just before I posted them.
Retro has a Retro has a bad habit of sharing his adopt commissions while he's making them, so all of his friends buy them before he can even post them. Like he did Cyclopses, and then I immediately bought one. Koishi immediately bought the other, and then Soul bought the last one.
Yep.
And
Soul
then
almost bought the one that Koishi had, but Koishi had first dibs.
yeah. And then the next batch that he did, the commissioner picked theirs, and then and then other people in the VC were like, "Oh, I want these." So the commissioner bought all of them and then gave them to us.
Well, two. There was two. There, he bought two of them, and the other one got bought.
Oh yeah.
Because it was the Void Lamia, which was unintentionally a Void Llama the first time.
Yeah.
Listen. Okay, I was.
We love her though.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be doing her at some point to sell her off as well, but I just haven't gotten around to it yet.
The llama.
Yeah.
You should. It looked really cool.
Yeah, no, she came out cute.
But we love our snake lady very many. I'm making an entire harem for her.
Yes. Oh no, I saw Quaze redraw her. She looks so good.
And then I was like, I want to make so many girlfriends and boyfriends and partners for the snake lady.
As you should.
It won't fucking connect.
No.
If I have to restart my fucking computer, I'm gonna eat a brick.
It's not good for your teeth.
Yeah, well, it's also not good for my program to not work.
True.
If I have to restart my computer, I might just fucking call it for today.
Fair. Can't really blame
Because that's like the third fucking restart, I think, today. I got one done.
We got some done, yeah.
I got one done. Oh wait, no, I did two. I did. For trying to forget Garfield.
Garfield.
Oh shit, yeah, no, Azure, an adopt commission is when somebody gives me a prompt to make 3 designs for them, and then they get to keep one of them as the base payment for the designs, and then if they want more, it's discounted, but if they don't want the other 2, then they get sold off.
Hey!
Yeah, Nova.
Thank you, Nova.
Well, now I can't fucking end stream.
50%, guys.
Stop,
We're so
please. I didn't do anything. You're a liar. You're a liar. You're a liar, and I love you. Thank you for the $50, and thank you for shouting out Nova. Hey, I drew that. Who clipped this? It was just like Nova blowing on something to clean it off, and somebody fucking clipped it.
Someone liked it, I guess.
Oh no.
Or thought it was
Oh
funny.
no. Okay, you can't see it, but I'm adding it to the thing. Nova is amazing. Film at 11. Also, Minx, thank you for the sippy and the stretch.
Yeah, super stretch.
I'm voting.
It's not.
Oh, hey, that's me on her titty.
Thank you, phone.
Oh, this was from the Big Among Us collab.
God, I haven't played Among Us in so long, and I like to keep it that way. There's so many things happening.
Oh my god, it was that moment. Jesus Christ. She
Oh, is
was
it still going?
Yeah, it was a long clip. She was just sitting there quietly, and then she got accused, and she was like, yeah, it's me. Like, she could have gotten away with it if she had just tried to defend herself, and then she was like, no, it's me.
I'm the same way. Like, even if it's not me, I just kind of go, okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'll take the blame. It's okay.
Even though you guys can't see it, we're currently at $1,300. I'm gonna throw up.
Fuck yeah, guys.
Yeah.
I am so proud of you guys as a community.
Boy.
I'm gonna cry forever.
Get 2,000.
Goodbye forever.
Let's get it.
We unlocked the next goal, which is a bust illustration giveaway and $200. That being said, I will be right back. I'm gonna restart my computer and see if that fixes my problem. Retro, you're in charge.
What?
Oh, funny.
Well, OBS won't still keep going if you